Most of us run from boredom like it's the plague. Scrolling, swiping, doom scrolling, distracting ourselves every chance we get. But what if I told you boredom isn't the enemy? It's actually your secret weapon. Today I'm breaking down why boredom can actually spark your greatest creativity and your breakthroughs. Welcome back to the Marcus Allgood Show. I appreciate everybody watching and listening and sharing the show and getting some value out of this. Today we're talking about why boredom is a gift and how to unlock its creativity. You ever wonder why you come up with some of the best ideas in the shower? It's because you're really bored. You are doing something, but you're bored. Your mind has time to think. You're not sitting there doom scrolling. Sometimes you listen to music, but if you listen to it in silence, there's really nothing else going on, so your brain has to work. So one reason why we fear boredom is because we live in an instant stimulation culture with our phones, streaming, notifications. Like everything is instant. We want it now. We want the gratification now. We don't want to wait till later. And boredom just feels uncomfortable because it forces us to be with our own thoughts. It forces you to think about what's going on in your life, what's happening around you, what's happening to you, like all sorts of different things. And like you go for a run or go for a walk and don't take your phone, don't take your headset, don't take anything with you, and find out what you're actually thinking about when you're on this run and when you're on this walk. A lot of times the walk is going to be a lot more peaceful. It's going to be a lot more lot less negative self-chatter, self-destruction, a lot less self-destruction. And sometimes when you're on the run, you're like talking so much negativity, like I just want this run to end, this hurts, why am I doing this? But a lot of times, if you could sit back, like sit into it, like really relax, not like relax on the run, and just start letting your thoughts go, you're going to come up with some cool ideas. You're going to come up with a lot of cool ideas and just things that you would never think about when you're doom scrolling or listening to music, or watching videos, like all sorts of different things like that you have to distract you to keep your mind from actually doing things that you want it to do. But the truth, that quiet space is where your brain does its best work. And it's true. Like, how many times have you got a great idea in the shower, but you're in the shower, so you can't write it down, and you're like, oh, I should go write this down, but you don't, and then you get out of the shower and you forget about it because you got distracted? I do it all the time, especially when I'm running. I've come up with some cool ideas that always escape me by the time I get back or by the time I write it down. I should just stop the run, but I'm too focused on the time and where I'm going that I should just sit down and put it into the notes app or talk it into the notes app. But maybe next time I'll do it, or maybe that wasn't such a good idea. You never know. Could it have been the next $1 million idea? Could have. Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, the science and psychology. When you're bored, your brain shifts into the default mode network, the part of the brain linked to imagination, problem solving, and creativity. With no stimulation, your mind starts connecting ideas that don't normally connect. Think about it. Some of your best ideas show up in the shower, in a walk, while you're driving because you're bored enough to let your mind wander. And it's one of those, like those three things I didn't think about driving, but those other two things we've already talked about. But your brain has time to sit there and relax and just start basically using your brain to figure things out. You can ask it questions and you're going to get the answer back, kind of like Google. You can use the same, instead of scrolling the internet or searching Google, search your brain for the answers of what you're looking for. If you ask it a question, most of the time it's going to throw out an answer. It might not be the right one you're looking for, but the brain does know a whole lot more than what you give it credit for. And then how boredom breeds creativity. It creates space for ideas. With no distractions, ideas have room to breathe. They have room to grow. They have room to facilitate inside your brain and just to grow bigger. It forces you to reflect. Boredom brings up questions. What do I really want? Why am I stuck? Where am I going in life? What do I want out of life? What do I want in a partner? Is my partner the right one for me? All sorts of different things that you could start asking your questions to your brain for, and really start thinking about different ideas and just things to come up with. It pushes you towards action. That relentless energy could drive you to create, build, or explore something new. If you asked a bunch of different millionaires or a bunch of inventors on how they came up with things, they're going to tell you that they were probably bored just looking through, just sitting around thinking about what they could do to help people, what could be the next big thing, or just something, what's going to solve the problem that somebody has right now. And you just start letting your brain throw out the creativity. You can start writing it down, journaling, going through the different things. And I guarantee you they're going to say that they were bored. They weren't sitting there jamming to music. They weren't doom scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. They weren't scrolling Facebook. They weren't getting on arguments on X or even Facebook. They weren't all caught up in the political environment that everybody's caught in nowadays. There's no left or right. They're just focused on what they can do to help other people in the world. How to use boredom intentionally. Schedule with white space, 15 to 30 minutes daily with no phone, no music, no screens. I'm not going to lie. Sitting there for 15, 30 minutes is going to drive you absolutely bonkers, but you will figure out a whole bunch of different things about yourself. If we're going to figure out, like what you should be doing for the next couple hours, you're going to figure out, what makes you happy, what makes you sad. It's going to make you really think about your life choices and where you're at in life right now. It's going to make you think about your financial stability, where your finances are now, and just, are you in the right space? Are you doing the right things and need to get you closer to your goals? But I'm telling you, 30 minutes is a long time. So I would start out probably like 5 minutes and go to 7, 8, 10, and build up to it each day to really think about, is this something that you can accomplish? But if you try to go for 30 minutes, you're going to probably drive yourself crazy and go into a new loony bin. Replace scrolling with silence. Next time you're waiting in line, don't pull out your phone. Just observe and think. I do that often. I'll just hold my groceries so that way I can't hold my phone. And I just look around, watch people. People watch is actually pretty fun. You might learn something. You might wonder, why are they doing that? Well, that's kind of weird. Is it weird? You might be weird for not doing it. You never know until you figure out what they're actually doing and what it means to, or actually if you try to do it and be like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. Take boredom walks. I've already talked about that. Walk without podcasts or music. Let your brain wander. Just go out there and walk. Just nice, peaceful walk and let your brain start thinking. A lot of people don't want their brain to go. That's why they start with drugs and alcohol. But once you can figure out a way for your brain to work for you instead of letting your brain work you won't need the drugs and alcohol. You can just go out there, think about it, take your time, and just learn about yourself. Then you can journal through the relentlessness, let the thoughts flow. Even if they feel random, just throw them down on paper if you have to, or talk to them into your notes app. Like, however you got to do it. Like, especially on a walk, you could talk your thoughts into the notes app and then go back, take 15 minutes to decipher what's going on with those notes and what's going on inside your brain. Are you going towards your goals? Are you going away from your goals? Is it really going in the direction that you want it to go in? So one of my closing thoughts today is boredom isn't wasted time. It's creative time. Stop running from it. Lean into it, because in the silence, your brain will hand you the ideas, solutions, clarity you've been too distracted to see. Boredom isn't your enemy. It's an invitation to create. And we try and tell our kids all the time it's okay to be bored. Let your kids be bored for a little bit, and they're going to come up with different things to do. That's how, we could spend hours outside when we were kids. We didn't have these phones to distract us. We didn't have TV to distract us. We only had Saturday morning cartoons when the time was right. From like 8 to 10. I don't even remember the times. But I remember getting up early to watch Saved by the Bell. And, a lot of times it was reruns. So you just go out and do things. Not sit there and scroll on your phone. Not scroll on your iPad. And, you come up with different things to do when you're bored. And a lot of times that creativity is unmatched by anything else out there. Well, that's the pod. I appreciate everybody listening. If you're getting value out of this, please share it. And leave me a review. I would greatly appreciate it to help start building up the rankings and maybe get this show pushed out to some more people. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.